This is Nifty Culture. I'm Pio, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Ryan. How's it going, Ryan?
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to talk to you about the LaMelo Ball NFT project. So this is a project that is by LaMelo Ball. It is not like by the NBA. It's not affiliated with Top Shot, but rather it is an individual NFT collection / project that is focused on LaMelo Ball. And the core idea is to mint his entire career on the blockchain and to provide, utility and provide, access to LaMelo Ball and gifts and his kind of like it's basically a fan club for LaMelo Ball. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Absolutely. That's very fair to say. And it's very similar to I would say, if you could have bought LeBron stock 18 years ago when he entered the league, it's very similar to that. You're kind of investing in Melo as he starts out his career. He just finished up his first season in the NBA, and he's already done some pretty phenomenal things, winning Rookie of the Year. So this is kind of just following LaMelo on his journey throughout the NBA and his career, and people who are part of this collection and have been a part of this community, invested in him from the jump, will be rewarded in different ways through utility, access, and things like that. Yeah, so I'm very excited for that.
Okay, and so you bought all of the 4 pieces, right? There's like a red, blue, a gold, and I forget the other color, but you bought one of each piece, correct?
Correct.
Silver.
Yes, I have the complete set.
You have the complete set. Do you have multiple copies or multiple mints of any of them?
Yeah, I have the full set, which I'll be keeping for quite some time, and then I also have a few extra red Mars and blue Neptunes. I have 2 extra that I'll be giving away to my friends. Once they become once they get their first NFTs, or once they become part of the NFT culture and they start getting into that, I do want to be able to gift them their first one, because most of my friends are not in this space. So I have a few reserved just for sending to friends and family, and then I have a few, like 2 or 3 other ones that I'll flip once the season begins.
Okay, cool. And so what made you buy these NFTs? This was after you bought the Gary Vee NFTs, correct?
Correct. Yeah, the Gary V's were the first one, and this was pretty much around the similar time. They came out about a month ago or so. And then, like I told you before, right now I'm kind of just doing my due diligence and my research to find the proper NFT projects to invest in. And one main thing that I'm looking for, aside from the art in itself, is utility and access and certain things. And this LaMelo Ball one, I saw that they partnered with Ether Cards, which is a tremendous platform that gives your NFT the ability to be dynamic. You can add certain traits to it, redeemable traits. The art can change over time, and that's what LaMelo wanted, as a dynamic NFT to follow him and adapt with him and continues his career in the NBA. So that's something that I really wanted. And me and LaMelo are pretty similar in age, so I've been following him for years. I remember that kid when he was in middle school, high school, in Australia, now in the NBA. I'm 21, he's 19. So I've been a big fan for a while, and I really see superstar potential in him. Like, I think he could be one of the greats, a few years down the line. So when this opportunity came up and I saw that, he shouted out on Instagram the opportunity that his NFT collection came out, I started doing my research on the LaMelo metaverse itself, on what they had to say on the actual site itself. And then also I did some research on Ether Cards, their platform, and how massive they actually are, and the partnerships and brand that they're building on their own. And that partnership really solidified that this investment may be good, and it's something that they're looking to continue for the long run. It's not just a quick cash grab. They're not just going to mint some of these NFTs. LaMelo gets paid in some Ethereum and then it's done. This is going to continue for the rest of his career, essentially, especially the gold one that will continue to get perks for many, many years down the line. But yeah, essentially it gives you a sense of community, gives you a sense of access. And this is basically, like I said, investing in LaMelo and his career, and the ability to do that while he starts. And this is so underplayed and underground. I mean, the collection itself didn't even sell out. I think there was 10,000 released, but I think there's only a total of about just above 8,000 total that were minted, and then the rest were burned. So I mean, this collection is very, very limited, and especially once everyone starts understanding this NFT space and they see LaMelo progress through his career, these are going to be very, very highly sought after, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, when I look at the sale volume here, it seems that we've seen a pretty considerable spike, especially in the Red Mars, since last night. And you just mentioned that he won Breakout Athlete of the Year. And if that was last night, then that would definitely make sense. LaMelo Ball, for people that aren't NBA fans and they don't know, he's had a lot of attention and hype on him since, really, like you said, he was in like middle school or like freshman year of high school. He's been a known figure in the basketball world for a while, partially because his oldest brother was like a very strong prospect and ended up being the number 2 overall pick in the NBA draft. There's always been a lot of hype around this family, and they do like reality shows, and they also are business magnates in a lot of ways. When his older brother Lonzo got into the NBA, instead of signing a shoe deal, which is traditionally what happens when you're like that high of a prospect, really when you're just anybody that gets to the NBA, you sign a shoe deal. Instead, Lonzo didn't do that, and he started wearing different shoes in every game, which people never did before. Like, he'd wear a Nike shoe one day and then like a Reebok shoe another day. So that was like kind of an attention grabbing effort. And then the family made their big baller brand sneakers as well. So that was like a very entrepreneurial approach. It didn't necessarily work out. It wasn't like a massive success, but the groundwork is there for you to know that this family is very entrepreneurial. That's how they approach things. So I'm not surprised that this NFT project was built to be, a long game, right? It's not short-sighted at all. The idea is to have it go over the course of his career. And, you're right. It's like really interesting that not that many were minted and a lot were burned. Like, not everything sold out. What I chalk that up to is that most of LaMelo Ball's fans are not also like deep into crypto, and they probably just didn't understand. And it's a lot to get onboarded with MetaMask, to get onboarded with ETH, to understand what you're doing, and to like get a MetaMask wallet and connect it to LaMelo's site and actually buy an NFT. It's not a lot once you've actually done it. It's actually super simple and everyone will be doing it. But I think just like there's an intimidating sort of energy around it when you've never done it before. And I think that makes sense why the 0.01 price point, the Red Mars, actually sold out. So I have the secondary market volume pulled up right here, and I'm seeing a ton of Red Mars selling. Compared to its previous sales volume, this isn't the same kind of volume we would see on a hot avatar project right now, but it's still not volume that should be slept on. And we're seeing basically, one Blue Neptune sale in the past 12 hours, and that was at 0.198 compared to the 0.1 sale price. So basically a 100% profit for the seller. But then we're seeing just a solid amount of Red Mars being sold at 100% profit or more. So if you aped into Red Mars, that is looking like it was a pretty good call. And I actually bought one Blue Neptune myself, and I sold it 2 days ago. Here's the sale right here for 0.151, which is kind of looking like a paper hands move right now when I look at these other sales. But the volume on Blue Neptune isn't quite the same as Red Mars, I'm assuming because of the low mint count. What are your thoughts on the secondary market volume right now and what's kind of been going on with it? And maybe you can even like speculate on how this will go moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. I think you hit the nail on the head with that as far as his audience goes, and the difficulties in actually understanding ETH and MetaMask and going about actually how to get this NFT, because they didn't have any credit card option or anything like that, which I'm very glad they didn't. You had to do all the proper steps. So that's a very big reason why it didn't sell out, in my opinion. But the value is just insane to me. And I think that's why right now the people are really stocking up on Red Mars right now, because even if you have the base collection or the base tier, which is the Red Mars, I think initial mint was 0.01. And like you said, now it's selling for almost 100% profit right there. And I think the reason is because even if you have that base set, you're still getting entered into raffles to win NBA tickets. You're still getting a chance to win a gold tier NFT. You're still getting all of these real life attributes. You're still getting a connection into the owners chat in the Discord, where LaMelo does come in time to time. He'll talk in there with his audience, engage with them. So you're getting all those things for relatively very, very low price. And on top of that, like I said, they're expanding this to a whole new level, really creating a LaMelo verse on their official LaMeloBall.io site. Like, they're going to create a forging opportunity. They're going to create a ROP room that's going to come out later this season once the season starts. But a lot of people are stocking up on those Red Mars because of that. If you have a certain amount of them, you'll be able to forge them forge multiple tokens in order to redeem certain traits, in order to redeem other tokens, and those traits can be redeemed for physical objects, whether it's signed merchandise, whether it's NBA tickets. And the really cool thing on the resale aspect is those traits can either stay with the card. So if you have multiple of them, you can keep those traits to the card and resell them on OpenSea, and the buyer of that NFT can redeem those perks. Hey, this one has it. Let me redeem this and get a signed jersey of LaMelo if that trait is attached to it. Or you can take that trait away, redeem it, and sell the artwork itself. So it's very, very cool what they're doing as far as the dynamic aspect of it, the forever changing aspect of it. And that's what I really love. So I think a lot of people are stocking up right now before the season starts, before this project gets any hype. Because right now we are kind of at a standstill until the 22 season, or the 21 to 22 season does start, I think in September, October timeframe. So until that happens, people are really stocking up to get more opportunities to win raffles and then possible forging opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting that he himself hasn't hyped this up that much. Like, I know you mentioned he did an Instagram post, but like, he's got almost 1 million followers on Twitter. If he was tweeting about this every day during the drop, it would have obviously sold out. I have to think so, So I wonder why that was the case. I have to assume it's something that has to do with the NBA. I don't know, right? Because I'm assuming that everything checked out when it came to the licensing and all that of this. Like, I'm assuming that this is an above board project. When it comes to the utility like that you were talking about, I think he probably took some nods from Gary Vee, because he kind of set the stage for the full-blown, like, this is a picture. In no way is this LaMelo project you just buying this picture of him, with the world as a basketball. Like, this is a utility play. All of those features that you talked about are ingrained with the project and are crucial to the project's success. You spend time in this Discord. What can you tell me about like the community that's being built around it, and maybe just like what could come next for those that are in the community?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, me being a complete set holder, I think I could be wrong on this specific number, but there was 131 golds minted out of 500. And then the actual complete set holders that hold all 4 tiers, I could be wrong, but I believe it's somewhere between 60 and 80 people. So we get access to an exclusive gold chat per se, where you can connect with the people who have all the 4 tiers, and then you get those special chats with Melo himself. So right now we're all just very excited with what's going on. I mean, already in the month that we've owned it, he has won Rookie of the Year, and the gold NFT has evolved to the Rookie of the Year award, and future awards will come as far as MVP, All-Star, championships, whatever may come in his future. And then just yesterday, he did win Breakout Athlete of the Year. So I mean, already he's showing himself as a superstar as he is. So this NFT will continue to gain traction. So we're all just very excited right now for the overall future of this project, especially because of how low key it is. I'm not exactly sure, like you said, why this wasn't marketed as much. There definitely was not any marketing in my eyes besides like maybe 1 or 2 posts. But in the long run, that may be a good thing for us. It's less volume of tokens that are in supply right now, and it'll be more desirable as time goes on, especially in my opinion, the Silver Moon. That to me is the most underrated NFT of the collection, as that tracks his assists. And if anyone knows LaMelo Ball and follows him, like, that man can move the ball down the court almost better than anyone at 19. So can you imagine where he'll be at 28, 29? So I mean, that alone is a very massive one. And then also a benefit of having all 4 tiers right now, which we're excited about, is the ability to get a 5th NFT, which will track rebounds, which is a very big part of his triple-double puzzle, or triple-double
Equation.
Yeah, and you need that NFT to complete that set. It's very cool what they're doing with Ether cards right now, and House of Kiba, I believe, to set up all these prizes, puzzles, in-game experiences, and events that'll be coming to the drop room. So I think we're super excited about that, and I think we're just waiting for the season to start and for the official LaMelo Ball site to be updated with all these new features.
Okay, and so I didn't know that. So a rebound NFT is going to be released?
Yes, it will be released at a later time, I think, for purchase for a certain amount. However, all 4 holders, or a complete collection, if you have that, you will be able to get that for free. That's one of the perks of completing the set prior to the auction ending. There's also another prize for complete set holders that is to be revealed later date.
Okay, and yeah, that's interesting. Do you remember the price point of the silver mint?
1 ETH.
Okay, so yeah, the assist related stat was 1 ETH. Wow. Okay, because like you said, LaMelo Ball is a fantastic passer. I mean, his older brother Lonzo, when he came into the league, also at 19 or 20 years old, after 1 year of college, he immediately was a top 3 passer in the league. Like literally, LeBron James, Lonzo Ball in terms of passing ability, and LaMelo is actually the same thing. There's something about their DNA, the way that they were brought up, that they know how to pass the ball at an elite level, like top 5 in the NBA immediately at 19 years old. So yeah, that's a very good point. How much was the gold one?
The gold one was, I think it started at 2.68 ETH, and then by the time the auction ended, I believe it rose to 2.8 ETH.
Okay, and so you had to pay 2.8 ETH.
I've got it before then. I completed my set within like the first week, I think, so I paid 2.68 ETH.
Okay,
nice. For the
yeah.
gold one.
Yeah, it's a big investment, right? But at the same time, the idea is that this is a long-term play on the athlete and his career, and I think that it's going to pave the way for other athletes for sure. I mean, the secondary volume is like, it's making me wish that I, number one, had bought Red Mars, but I wasn't even aware of the project at that point. And then number two, it's making me wish that I had aped in a little bit more on the Blue Neptune. But yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with the secondary volume. I love to see an innovative project that corresponds, to an athlete's career. Like that's very kind of groundbreaking for me. Yeah, I guess any closing thoughts on where you could see this going maybe in the next 6 to 12 months?
6 to 12 months is a very interesting time frame. I mean, so much could change between now and then, especially being the first year that this collection will be a part of the actual NBA season. I think we'll definitely see floor prices rise at least 100% on all collection or all tiers. But I will say that this will be massive in 5 years. 5 and 6 years, I think this collection will be extremely sought after. If LaMelo does continue to do what I and many other people think he will do in his career, this collection will be very, very highly sought after. Like I said, I mean, imagine if you were able to invest in LeBron stock 18 years ago, invest in his NFT when he first got into the league, as to what that value would be now for the 80 people who have the complete set of the LeBron collection, quote unquote, would be astronomical. I mean, I couldn't even put a guess as to what that value would be, but I really think this has massive potential, especially if the LaMelo team and EtherCard's team continue to put out great traits, aspects, utility, access, which I think they definitely will do.
Yeah, I mean, like we were kind of alluded to, this is the modern day fan club, right? So when I was a kid growing up in the 90s, there were like fan clubs and people would like write letters to people, and then it'd be like in a magazine or something, like, Grant Hill or some other NBA player wrote a letter back to a fan or something, right? So that was like the fan club thing, and you get things in the mail. This is that, but just like way better, because it's, you're in a Discord, you can talk to LaMelo directly, you get gifts, you can win prizes. So this is, just the new fan club, and I think LaMelo is the first athlete to kind of show that you can use NFTs as like a fan club, and it's a way for athletes to have ownership over their own brands and have more avenues to monetize, because that's something that athletes are very focused on. They get a percentage of their jersey sales, they get a percentage of the revenue share from the NBA, and obviously they're paid well, but other people are still making more money off of them than they're making off of themselves. So I think that this is going to be a very I keep saying groundbreaking, but a very groundbreaking way that monetization and an opportunity for profit off of one's brand will, enter the professional sports space. So yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Ryan. I hope that, the value of these keeps going up. I might have to pick up some, even though I just sold one. And yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this project, but thanks so much for sharing your thoughts on it.
Absolutely. No, it was my pleasure. I love talking about this space. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. But thanks for having me on, Pio.